Assume that this is a rectangle. Now, this is length, this is breadth. Think of it as length is 3 centimeter and breadth is, say, 6 centimeter. So what is the ratio of length to breadth? What is the ratio of length to breadth? How would you say that? Length to breadth, what is the ratio? Okay. So L is to B is 3 is to 6, right? What is length? Length is 3. What is breadth? Breadth is 6. Now, you just, whenever you say ratio, ratio doesn't have a unit, okay? If the length was in meters and breadth was in centimeter, you need to convert that first. Say, for example, here length was mentioned in, assume I had mentioned length is 1 meter, okay? And breadth is given as 50 centimeter. Then you cannot say L is to B is 1 is to 50. This is wrong because 1 is 1 meter and 50 is 50 centimeter. So you have to bring both of them into same unit and only then you should write the ratio. So 1 meter will become 100 centimeter. So you should write 100 is to 50. Got it? So 100 is to 50 is going to be your L is to B. And second point is you cannot write it as 100 is to 50 because that is not the smallest term. You have to reduce it further, and which is this, how will you express? It will be 2 is to 1. 50 is common in both 100 and 50. So 100 and 50 has got 50, right? So remove that 50 and what are you left with? 2 is to 1. So what I told right now about ratio is whatever you're comparing, that has to be in the same unit. That's the first point. Second thing, you have to write it in the smallest term. You have to reduce it to the smallest possible term or smallest possible form. So in this case, L is to B, I have written as 3 is to 6. But 3 is to 6 is not the smallest form. What will be the smallest form? It is going to be 1 is to 2. Right? So when I say ratio, I'll be saying that length and breadth are in the ratio 1 is to 2. Okay, so now next topic is, so what we discussed right now was about ratio. Now what is proportion? Proportion is, I am comparing two sets of ratio. Okay, say two sets of ratio means I have length and breadth. Length and breadth is one ratio that I am comparing with maybe, what should I compare it with? Some totally unrelated thing. The number of pencils or number of black pencils to maybe number of black pencils to red pencils. Okay, I am checking whether the ratio of length is to breadth is same as the ratio of black pencils to red pencils. So if I say, did you understand? So here units and things are totally unrelated. Okay, here I am the pencils are number of pencils, whereas length and breadth are in centimeters. But ratio doesn't have a unit. But when you reduce it, assume that length and breadth are in the ratio 1 is to 2. Now black and red pencils, if I say they are in the ratio 4 is to 5. 4x black pencils and 5x red pencils are there. So here 1 is to 2 is definitely not comparable with 4 is to 5, right? So I can't say that they are in proportion. The L is to B in this case is 1 is to 2. Black pencils to red pencils are in the ratio 4 is to 5. So they are not in proportion. They are not in proportion. Now, let us assume that we have got 4 quantities, say A, B, C, and D. Okay, we say A, B, C, and D are in proportion if A is to B is equal to C is to D. A, B, C, and D are in proportion if A is to B is equal to C is to D. Okay, So this is, by the way, A, B, C, and D, all of them are non-zero quantities. A, B, C, and D are four non-zero quantities. They are in proportion if A is to B equal to C is to D. This can also be expressed as A is to B is to C is to D. Okay, so it is like, how do you read this? You read this term as, this you are reading as A is to B as C is to D. A is to B equal to C is to D. The term A and D are called extremes. They are called extremes. And the term B and C are called, what are they called? Any of you remember? Means or middle terms. Means or middle. A is called first term. A is called first term. What is B called? Second term. What is C called? Third term. Third term. And what is D called? Fourth term. Okay, provided they are in that same order. A is to B equal to C is to D. If that is the order, then A is the first term, B is the second term, C is the third term, and D is the fourth term. Also, in this format, when you write A is to B equal to C is to D, A and D are extremes. This is very important. A and D are extremes. B and C are means. Okay. Now, next, another point is, you have learned this. A is to B equal to C is to D, right? Can I write this as A by B equal to C by D? I can write like this, right? A is to B can be written as A by B. C is to D can be written as C by D. A is multiplied with D and B is multiplied with C. So this is, what does this mean? So here, A and D are extremes, B and C are means, middle terms. So what does this mean? Product of extremes equal to product of means. When A, B, C, and D are in proportion. When A, B, C, and D are in proportion, product of extremes is equal to product of means. There is another concept called continued proportion. Continued proportion. What is continued proportion? In continued proportion, you have only three terms. You have got A, B, and C. A, B, and C, they are all non-zero terms. Okay, A, B, C are non-zero terms. And we say A, B, and C are in proportion if A is to B equal to B is to C. A, B, and C are in continued proportion if A is to B equal to B is to C. Okay, that's all. So please note this. So now here we have got three terms, right? A, B, and C. So A is called first term or first proportional. B is called second term or second proportional. There is one more term that's called mean proportional. Okay, this is also called mean proportional because B is the middle term, right? For both the ratio, B is the middle term, right? When you look at it, A is to B equal to B is to C. Which was the middle term? Previously, we said we had A is to B equal to C is to D. B and C were middle terms or mean terms. Now here, for in both this case, B is the middle term, right? So B is called mean proportional and C is called third term or third proportional. Okay. So C is called third proportional. This also you have to keep in mind. So A is the first term or first proportional. You have got mean proportional and third proportional. In this case, A is to B equal to B is to C are in continued proportion when A into C is equal to B square, right? How I am getting this? A is to B is nothing but A by B. This is equal to B is to C. What is B is to C? B is to C means B by C, right? So what do I get? A into C equal to B into B. What is B into B? B into B is B square. So that's how I'm getting B square equal to AC. If A, B and C are in continued proportion, then B square equal to AC. This is also very important. Please note this down. Now, first question is, find the fourth proportional to 3, 6 and 4.5. So what is it that you need to calculate? Fourth proportional. Fourth proportional means A is to B equal to C is to D, where this is what they are asking. What is D? What is the value of D? That is what they are asking. Okay, fourth proportional means D. So here, what is it that we have learned? If A, B, C and D are in proportion, then product of extremes equal to product of means. That means A into D is equal to B into C. Substitute the values given. A into D is, A is 3. Value of D you don't know, so write as D itself. What is the value of B? See, this is A, this is B, this is C. D is what they are asking you to calculate. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay. So 3 into D and B into C means it is 6 into 4.5. So what is D? D is 6 into 4.5 divided by 3. So the answer is going to be 9. So fourth proportional is 9. Next question. The mean proportional. Find the mean proportional between 6.25 and 0.16. So when they are asking you to find the mean proportional comes only for continued proportion. Okay, mean proportional is there only for continued proportion. What have in continued proportion, what we are saying is A is to B equal to B is to C. And when A, B and C are in continued proportion, B square is equal to A into C. So how did you get this? This implies A by B equal to B by C. B into, you're multiplying here. C is multiplied with A and B is multiplied with B, right? I don't want any denominator. So I get AC equal to B square. So B square, B is mean proportional. You are asked to calculate mean proportional. Okay, B square is what they have, B is what they have asked you to calculate. So here, B square, we don't know. What is AC? AC is, A is 6.25 and C is 0.16. Multiply this. Basically, you don't need to multiply also. You can calculate B by taking square root of 6.25 into 0.16. Square root of 6.25 is actually 2.5 and square root of 0.16 is 0.4. So B or mean proportional is, mean proportional 1 is the answer.
Why do we turn it into a root?
Root, yeah, because mean proportional is B. B is mean proportional. What you are
finding? B square.
Yeah, we are calculating B square, no? Okay, in continued proportion, it is B square equal to AC. So you need to find square root of B square. Only then you will get B. 1.0, okay, not 10. Next question, find the third proportional to, you need to calculate the third proportional to 1.2 and 1.8. So third proportional to 1.2 and 1.8. So when this kind of question comes, understand that A, B, C are in continued proportion and C is the third proportion. Okay. So A is to B equal to B is to C, and this C is the third proportion. Here A is 1.2 and B is 1.8. B square equal to AC. When A, B and C are in continued proportion, then B square equal to AC. What is the value of B? We know that 1.8 the whole square equal to A is 1.2 into C. This is what you are calculating. Find out C. C is third proportional. Third proportional C equal to 1.8 into 1.8 divided by 1.2. That will give you divide. I think it is going to be 2.7. Next question. Quantities A, 2, 10 and B are in continued proportion. Find the values of A and B. A, 2, 10 and B are in continued proportion. Okay. So A, 2, 10 and B are in continued proportion. Find the values of A and B. So continued proportion means, what did I tell you? When A, B, C are in continued proportion, we will write A by B, or we will write A is to B equal to B is to C, right? This is what we write when A, B and C are in continued proportion. But in this case, we have got 4 terms. When 4 terms are in continued proportion, you should write A is to B equal to B is to C equal to C is to D. Here 4 terms are there. Okay. So when 4 terms are there and they are all in continued proportion, this is how you will write. A is to B equal to B is to C, that is equal to C is to D. So here, this is denominator, right? A by B equal to B by C equal to C by D. This is how it comes. So A, 2, 10 and B are in continued proportion means A by 2 equal to, here this term, okay, according to my A by B, B by C and C by D, this is corresponding to B. This is corresponding to C, okay, and B term is corresponding to D actually. That's how I have written. So now here, what you need to write is A by 2 equal to 2 by 10 equal to 10 by B. Understood? Why am I writing like this? You should write since A, 2, 10 and B are in continued proportion. Since A, 2, 10 and B are in continued proportion, A by 2 equal to 2 by 10 equal to 10 by B. So B is 50 and A is 2 by 5. So what did I do? A by 2 equal to 2 by 10. Take that and solve for A. After solving for A, take 2 by 10 equal to 10 by B. Now from that, solve for B. That's it. Okay, next one. Next question. What number should be subtracted from each of the numbers 23, 30, 57 and 78 so that the remainders are in proportion? Okay, so what number should be subtracted from each of the numbers so that, by the way, which are the numbers? Numbers are 23, 30, 57 and 78. Which number you should subtract so that the remainders are in proportion? Okay, so what you should first do is, let us take the number to be subtracted as x, because we don't know what should be the number. So let's write, let x be the number to be subtracted. Okay, let x be the number to be subtracted. And then they are talking about proportion. Okay, this is not continued proportion. They are talking about just proportion. So when they talk about proportion, it is like A is to B equal to C is to D. So you will write 23 minus x. 23 minus x is to B is 30 minus x. Understood? So what? Listen, the question is, what number should be subtracted from each of the numbers so that remainders are in proportion? That's the question. Remainders should be in proportion. So this, what you're doing is from each of the number, I am subtracting x. And then I am writing in proportion. So 23 minus x is to 30 minus x. That is equal to 57 minus x is to 78 minus x. Okay. Product of extremes is equal to product of means. Which are the extremes here? This and this are extremes, and this are means. So you will write 23 minus x into 78 minus x is equal to 30 minus x into 57 minus x. So product of extremes is equal to product of means. Now expand this and you need to solve this. You need to multiply 23 with 78. Then 23 has to be multiplied with minus x, negative x.
Yes.
Then you all know that, right? Then negative x and 78, then this and this. So same thing on the right hand side also. So please go ahead and try that. So 1794 minus 23x minus 78x plus x square is equal to 1710 minus 30x minus 57x plus x square. Okay, luckily this is not going to be a quadratic equation because x square and x square will get cancelled out. So now bring whatever possible to one side. Let me reduce it. So x square minus, what is 78 plus 23? 101. 101x plus 1794 equal to x square minus 87x plus 1710. Now x square, when you bring to the other side, this x square, when you take to left hand side, it gets cancelled out. Now what I'll do is, this 101x I am taking to the right hand side of the equal to symbol. So I get, what do I get? Negative 87x plus 101x. Now 1794. This I am taking to left hand side. So this will become minus 1710. So basically I'm getting 84 is equal to 14x is what I am getting. So therefore x is 84 divided by 14. That is 6. I'm getting x as 6. So this was not a quadratic equation. We were able to cancel out the x square terms. What should be added to each of the numbers? 13, 17, and 22. So that the resulting numbers are in continued proportion. Here they are talking about continued proportion and they are asking us to add a number. Some number should be added to these three numbers so that the resulting numbers are in continued proportion. So like we did last time, here, last question, this question also we will start with, let x be the number to be added. Let x be the number to be added. So what do you get here? 13, this is continued proportion. Okay, so continued proportion means A is to B equal to B is to C. So 13 plus X is to 17 plus x equal to 17 plus x is to 22 plus x. So remember, A is to B equal to B is to C. Since A, B, C are in continued proportion. Okay, so 13 plus x is to 17 plus x equal to 17 plus x is to 22 plus x. So in continued proportion, what do you have? B square equal to AC. That means 17 plus x the whole square equal to product of extremes, 13 plus x into 22 plus x. Calculate that. What do we get? So this is in the format a plus b the whole square. I hope all of you remember this identity. A plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So here a is 17 and b is x. And then calculate. 286 plus 13x plus 22x plus x squared. So again, here also x square term and x square term will get cancelled out. So 34x minus 13 plus 22 is 30. Oh, okay. This is 35x, right? 35x equal to 286 minus 289. So I'm getting minus x equal to minus 3. So x is 3. So number to be added is 3. This is the next question. If a square plus c square, okay, if a square plus c square, then ab plus cd and b square plus d square. Okay, so three numbers we have: a square plus c square, ab plus cd, and b square plus d square are in continued proportion. Prove that a, b, c, and d are in proportion. Okay, so what they have said is these are in continued proportion. These are in continued proportion, which are a square plus c square, ab plus cd, and b square plus d square are in continued proportion. Now, what is it that you have to prove? We have to prove that a, b, c, and d are in proportion. Are in proportion. Okay, so this is what you need to prove. What is given? Few things are in continued proportion. From that, you have to show that a, b, c, and d are in proportion. So basically, what is it that you have to prove? You have to show that a by b equal to c by d. Somehow you have to show this. Then you can say a, b, c, and d are in proportion. Okay. So what needs to be proved is a by b equal to c by d. Somehow. So here, what is given? Given that a square plus, so maybe we can write like that. Given that a square plus c square, ab plus cd, and b square plus d square are in continued proportion. Okay. So when they are in continued proportion, what do you have? You know that the product of means equal to product of extremes, right? X, y, and z be in continued proportion. Then this is x, this is y, and this is z. Okay, so if x, y, and z are in continued proportion, then what you know is y square equal to x into z. This is what you know. So what I'll write? In the place of y, I have ab plus cd. So whole square, because y square is ab plus cd whole square. This is equal to x into z. Which is my x? My x is a square plus c square. Which is my z? C is b square plus d square. Okay, so let's expand this. So when you expand, again, what is in this? This is in x plus y the whole square format. X plus y the whole square is x square plus 2xy plus y square. Okay, that's the format. So this is going to be a square b square plus 2 times xy. Xy means ab into cd plus c square d square. So a square b, okay, a square b square plus 2ab into cd plus c square d square. Now the other one I have to multiply the normal multiplication. So this will be a square b square plus a square d square plus c square b square plus c square d square. Now, which all terms I'll be able to cancel out? All are positive terms. So some terms I'll be able to cancel out. A square b square. When a square, this a square b square is taken to the other side, that will become negative. So I can cancel it out. Now c square d square, this both I can cancel out. Now I have 2 times a b c d equal to a square d square plus c square d square. Now bring it to, the other side. So I get a square d square minus 2abcd plus c square b square equal to 0. I can very much write this as a square, sorry, not a square. This is in the form, if you look at this, don't you think this is in the form x minus y whole square form? X minus y whole square format this is. So I will write this as AD minus CB or BC whole square equal to 0. Can I write like this? AD minus BC whole square equal to 0. Now take the square root. I am getting AD minus CB equal to 0. Now I am writing AD equal to BC, right? So I'm taking the square root here, okay? Taking square root. Taking square root, I'm getting 0, square root is 0 itself. So AD minus CB equal to 0. AD becomes BC. And now, can I write this as AD equal to BC is nothing but our product of extremes equal to product of means. Am I not getting A by B equal to C by D? I'm taking B to this side, D to this side. A by B equal to C by D, which implies A is to B equal to C is to D. A, B, C and D are in proportion. Hence proved.